Hello, and I feel like it's a happy new year because it's the first time that we've seen Adam this year.
Hi, Joanne. How you doing?
Welcome back.
Yeah, good to see you. Well, unfortunately, I fell off a ladder back in October, broke my heel, so this is my first time back after 3 months, but really, really excited to be back.
It's fair to say that having Adam back really, for me, heralds the beginning of the gardening season. Big start to gardening all over terrestrial TV the last week. Loads of exciting new shows that I think are going to inspire you. And here at Ideal World, with help, tips and advice from Adam, who's also going to be writing a brilliant blog so that you can follow the blog over on our website, which will be Lead the Good Life. Do go and have a little look. Loads of tools, loads of plants. We're in an exclusive partnership with one of the best known names in the business of plants and tools, and Lead the Good Life website always there for you, also with Adam's blog. Any questions, any tips that you may need, any queries that you may have, we're very keen, aren't we, Adam, to get everybody gardening.
Yeah, absolutely. And this time of year as well, because we are mid-January still. There's no point fooling people. We are in mid-January, but if you're feeling sort of winter weary, if you're feeling a bit run down, if you're feeling a bit desperate to get outside, what we've got today are products that you can use in the garden now. So I'm desperate to get back out in the garden and start doing gardening. So we've got, things that you can do in the garden now. And
they are all available at sensational prices. Again, that exclusive partnership with our plant supplier, who, by the way, also has been growing and has their own sort of growing programs. They're growing tougher, stronger, more robust plants. They are bringing you these outrageous offers thanks to our partnership with Lead the Good Life. So what we want to do very quickly is just give you an overview of what's to look forward to in the show. I remind you that if you've had success with many of the incredible lines that we've brought you over the last 12 months, we would love to see your sort of photographic evidence, and maybe
definitely,
like Adam, you're feeling a little winter weary and you're casting your mind back and maybe looking over your pictures from last year. Send us a photo of your grown hanging baskets, your pots, your borders from the last year, and be in with the chance of winning a £20 voucher for the Lead the Good Life website. So send us now that picture. It's at studio@idealworld.tv. We do need to receive your picture before the end of the show because Adam, yes, His Highness the King of Gardening, will be drawing that out. Now, he's very well qualified to talk to you about gardening, and only because he's a very, very modest chap. He doesn't blow his own trumpet very much. So I just want to quickly remind people, many, many, many times you've been to Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean,
and you've come away with a fair few medals.
Yeah, I mean, I've been lucky enough for my partners to win. We've won 3 gold medals at the Chelsea Flower Show. We've won a silver, we've won a silver gilt, and we've won some medals at some other shows as well. So, yeah, it's been fun. It's been enjoyable.
And, of course, we've got him here to help and advise you today. Now, we're going to start off with a quick overview, as I promised. Any questions or queries, though, it's up to you to get in touch with us today. Now, the first thing first, look how cute this is, Adam. A gardener's diary.
Yeah.
Now, today we'll be offering this at $4.99, and it will have no postage and packaging whatsoever to pay if you order this with anything else, absolutely anything else on today's show. So I'd like to think that everybody is going to go for this great diary with their order today.
Yeah, and I've had some good input on that as well. And, great thing about a gardener's diaries as well, you can always put down those things in your diary. For instance, you can put down the day your first daffodils came into flower. You can put down the day you first picked your strawberries. And if you keep your gardening diaries year after year, it's always a great way to look back, and see how things have changed from year to year. Because sometimes we have early spring, sometimes late springs. It's never the same, is it, Joanne, from year to year gardening?
And enjoying this beautiful book that really is. May I show it to you? It is a celebration of all things brilliant, beautiful and practical that needs to happen in the garden. And what's superb about this is, for experienced gardeners, you will knowingly glance upon its pages and go, ah, yes.
Yeah.
And it'll be a gentle reminder. And for those of us that haven't got a clue what to do, this will give you great hints and tips of exactly what's happening. It is developed and designed specifically with this year 2015 in mind, so it's got the day, the date and the month written with a little section for you on it. $4.99. I love that it's got the little elastication, because so often you put things, cuttings, articles,
and it's so elegant as well, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
I like the little strip down the edge of each page there, where you had the sort of little picture of a plant just on the edge of each page.
Just
again.
keeps it stunning.
It just makes it really individual. Look at how sweet is that. So each day you turn over your diary, you're inspired by another flower, by another blossom, to add a smile to your face.
They are particular to the times of year, like when you would be seeing your snowdrops, when you would be seeing your hellebores, when you would be seeing your fabulous daffodils. Oh, and look at these little, what are these? Like little campanula.
Oh, they're Lily of the Valley.
Lily of the Valley.
Lily of the Valley.
Well, there you go.
I can smell them already, actually.
Well, $4.99, I'm keeping that with me, and you can get yours 335-982. Now, we're going to start off with what I predict will be the most outrageously popular plant in today's show, because it is 3. It's a rose bush collection. It comes with a DVD. Now, I wish it had said this, but I'm pretty sure you're going to be getting 3 rose bushes.
Yeah. I mean, originally I was told it was going to be pink, red and gold.
Yes.
But I believe it's a mix. It's what they call a breeder's mix of 3 different colours. So you're going to get that nice mix of 3 colours. And we have got the most high quality plants in the studio. These are the plants you're going to receive. My first job when I left school was to work for a rose grower.
Yes.
And we used to have what we call firsts and seconds and thirds. And you know, the first grade roses always had at least 4 or 5 stems.
Okay.
And then you went right down to the sort of the third grade ones that might have only sort of 1 or 2 stems. They went off to market. But you know, when you come back to this in a moment, you will see Joanne is holding a fantastic rose in her hand that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 huge, not spindly, really thick, fantastic stems, thicker than pencils or as thick as pencils. And look at the way they're spread out. That has got a fantastic shape to it. So that means when you get this in the ground, when this starts to grow, it's going to give you a really big bushy rose very quickly. And this will flower for you this year.
How exciting. Now, explain to me about when to plant, because I know that we're actually dispatching these.
Yeah.
Orders are coming in already. 3 rose bushes, please let me be clear on that. Plus, of course, the DVD for $14.99 with great hints and tips on successful rose growing. But when do we plant,
You
Adam?
can plant these now, and this is what I'm saying to people. You know, the thing is, if you're a fisherman, your nirvana is to sit by a lake or to sit by a river every day. If you're a surfer, your nirvana is to go down to a beach and get onto those big waves. If you're a gardener like me, you're itching to get out in the garden now. You're itching to do gardening. This is the best time of year to plant bare root shrubs, bare root roses. So when you get these home, you can plant these now. If you're looking for a reason to get out in the garden, if you're looking for a reason to get some fresh air into your lungs and get out into the lengthening daylight that we've got now is the perfect time to get those roses in. And if I just hold this rose up, all you need to remember when you get these home is to just plant them so that where this little knuckly joint is here, you can just see where the green stems come out from this little knuckly bit. That's where the rose has been grafted or budded. Just make sure the soil is about ½ inch above this brown knuckly bit. So basically the bottom half to an inch of the green stem is under the ground. That is all you need to remember. Other than that, soak them for an hour before you put them in, give them a good water. And what you could do as well is just reduce them down by about 1/2, but when you put them into an outward facing bud, and that will just encourage them to really get going early in the spring. You'll get flowers this year for sure, but next year, once they're really established, they're going to flower for you all summer long.
How exciting. Please remember, they're only $14.99.
That is a fantastic
price. Can I just stress, that is less than £5 per rose bush, and they are only available from us here at Ideal World. 336-179. To the patio pots. Now, these have been a huge favourite. We will come back and look at these in the flesh in just a moment's time. 3 of these for you there. I know it looks there like they graduate in size, but they are, in fact, I believe, all 3 identical.
I do, and I think they come with the saucers as well. We're not in the picture there, but
in fact,
yeah, they do come with saucers.
I'm just
on each
quickly
one.
going to grab one for you. I'll bring it back to Adam because, bless him, that heel injury means he's still a little bit of a
slow at the moment.
He's a little bit of a hop
feet.
along. Let's just quickly show you. So they clip and fasten onto. I have a couple of these at our house. They're lightweight, so they're easy to move around. They clip onto the saucer, which is brilliant. There's like a little lug so that it clips on. Look how beautiful they are. They look like they're out of some sort of burnished kind of bronze.
They look really
or something
rustic,
like
don't they? Yeah, they look incredibly expensive, incredibly elegant, but you've got all the advantages of the fact that they are plastic because they're lightweight, they'll maintain the moisture. And as we run down the line today and go through other plants, we've got some fabulous lilies coming up, we've got some fruit coming up. These are all big enough to plant your lilies in, to plant your fruit in. So if you haven't got a garden, if you've just got a balcony or a patio or a concrete yard, you can still enjoy and grow all these plants.
My lilies are in these. Let's put your lilies in
did you do the lily competition last year?
I did.
Yeah?
I did. So I was up there competing for title. 336-181 is the item number, $24.99. Huge saving again. £5 off, working at just $8.33 per pot. And remember, they do come with the saucer. I wonder if we could put that onto the details as well. Let us move swiftly along though, because here's an offer that our producer Graham is really pleased with. He thinks that this is just the most stunning offer ever together. They work out at less than 30 pence per bulb.
Yeah.
Less than 30p per bulb for this incredible collection. Do you know that, Adam, when I looked at this, I figured out you're actually saving more than you're spending.
Yeah.
Saving £15, spending $14.99. Lily Oriental. Now tell us what's different about Lily Oriental than Lily Asiatic.
Yeah, I mean, there's Asiatic lilies, Oriental lilies, there's Turk's cap lilies. Asiatic lilies have these wonderful, sort of what they call recurved petals, so the petals actually curve back at the ends. But what they do have is the most knockout fragrance, really sweet, intoxicating fragrance that generally comes to its fore in the evening. So on a warm summer's evening, just as it starts to get dark, I think they're probably moth pollinated, originally where they grew originally. So in the evening, when you're sitting outside in the garden those warm summer evenings, or you've got the back door open, you just get the wonderful fragrance come through of these lilies. But 50, when they sent me through the list of what was going to be on the show, I looked down and originally I saw 50 lilies, $29.99, and I thought, wow, that is fantastic. Then I looked across to the box at the far side on my sheet that said special offer for today, $14.99. I was thinking, that is ridiculous. I was in a garden centre with my partner yesterday and we were looking at pre-packed lilies. We were looking at 3 or 2 lilies in a pack for about $4.99 per pack for just 2 or 3 lilies. 50 fantastic Asiatic lilies for $14.99 is remarkable. And you can see in my hand, these are lovely sized bulbs, really good chunky bulbs. You can plant these in the pots that we showed you a moment ago, or they can go straight into the garden. If you're going to put them in pots, put them in ericaceous compost. If you haven't got sort of ericaceous compost in the garden, so in other words, if in your garden rhododendrons, azaleas, that kind of thing don't thrive, then grow these in pots with ericaceous compost. But if you've got those sort of plants and they thrive, they can go straight in the garden. And you might be thinking, well, hold on, 50 bulbs, do I really need 50? What you can do is, a tip I like to give people as well, grow 25 in the garden to enjoy and to let the butterflies and the pollinating insects enjoy. The other 25, grow them in the kitchen garden or grow them on the allotment and use them as cut flowers.
Cut flowers.
So you could have some inside the house and others in the garden at the same time.
Well, these, I know they look too perfect to be real, but they are in fact the real deal. And the fragrance, it is glorious. I put these into the rooms. Now, you will pay in many places £3 a stem. If you are lucky on a market or in a florist, you might be lucky if you know them and you've got a twinkle in your eye, pay £1.50 a stem. You're going to have dozens of these to utilise. We know that you're going to go crazy for them. Already many of you are ordering. Amazing price, 336 or 182, and feel free to spread them out amongst your family, divide them up, because this value has got to be taken advantage of. That's 336 or 182. It's about fragrance. It's about beauty. I know, absolutely. And speaking of which, if you are thinking of getting hold of anything that is going to bloom this year, you definitely want to invest in the next item. Now, may I just tell you a very quick personal story? Incredibloom was only used in my garden in 2 instances because I actually gave it away to my mom, and she has had phenomenal results. But my little flowers that I fed with my Incredibloom when did I feed them? In February last year. Some of those are just coming back now. Now, let me tell you, I planted them last February. I gave them Incredibloom, and they were little. They've come back, and only 3 pots got the Incredibloom because I potted up 3 and then I gave the Incredibloom to my mom, and I used another. It's supposed to be the market leader feed, okay, on the other ones. They've just started coming back. They're like a little pansy and they're back in flower again. Let me tell you, Adam, they're like a different plant. The 3 on this wall look one way, and all the ones on that wall look a totally different way.
And that's
it's amazing.
And that's the difference a good fertiliser makes, especially if you've got things in pots or baskets or troughs, because if something's in a pot or a basket or a trough, it's limited just to the soil that is in that pot, in that container. If it's in the ground, the roots can go further and find extra nutrients in the ground. So things in pots do particularly well using Incredibloom. 4 times as many flowers. It tells you this on the tub.
Absolutely.
And we've got really strict rules in this country about what you can say and what you can't say when you're advertising. The supplier of this could not say it's going to give you 4 times the amount of flower if they hadn't done the trials, if they hadn't proved it. And the reason this works is because it's got all the main elements that plants need. It's got the nitrogen, the phosphorus, the potassium, looks after the plant from the
Yes.
tip of the shoot to the base of the root, but it's got trace elements as well, in things like iron and magnesium. For instance, as human beings, we know if we lack iron, we become anemic, we become unhealthy. Plants are the same. They need those micronutrients. And if I just show you in my hand, this is how it comes. It comes as little pellets. You can see there, just little mixed
Quite
colours.
pretty, isn't it?
It's actually quite attractive little pellet. You just sprinkle those onto the compost, and also they're kind of heat responsive as well. So as the compost warms up, which is obviously when the plant starts to grow properly, that is when it will really start to release the nutrients
great.
and give the plants what they need.
May I just say, I was made big promises about this last year. I got to see some of these pictures when they were first releasing Incredibloom to us here. And on the left, you can see the Incredibloom result here. On the right, the other feed, which many of you will have used. And look, these were promised to me. Have a look at this next image. On this one, it's on the left without, and on the right with. And let me tell you, I had big expectations. It wasn't until I saw for myself, because I've got the very clear demonstration. I fed them all. You guys said to me, you have to feed them all. Incredibloom is on my left wall, 1, 2, 3. The other 5 pots, because I've got 8 in total, the other 5 on that wall, they look like they're different plants. From the same nursery, the same plant. The only thing that I can say is different is I used Incredibloom here, then I gave my Incredibloom to my mommy, and I bought the other one, and I used those on those 5, and they just don't look the same. I'm gonna have to even it up a little bit later on. Anyway, great to have you here with us. There's 309251 if you'd like to get hold of the 900-gram tub for £12.99. It isn't widely available, so do grab hold of it from us here at Ideal World. It isn't widely available, I just stress that to you, and it is knocking the socks off any of the competitor products.
Oh, without a doubt.
As far as we can see. Now, this next item, I'll be perfectly honest with you, it's not the world's prettiest thing, but this is what you need to focus on. Where we're going, not where we're starting, but where we're going. One of the most exciting plants we brought you in 2014.
Yeah. Well, this tuber, the tuber that you had in your hand a moment, Joan, these tubers will literally explode into flowers, into the most amazing flowers next year, and they are going to give you a wonderful mix of colours. You're going to have soft oranges, you're going to have yellows, you're going to have tangerines, you're going to have apricot colours, you're going to have peach colours, you're going to have this cascade, this waterfall, this absolute incredible amount of flower that is going to flower for month after month after month. Now, I'm going to be honest with you here. I was never a fan, or I have not been a fan of orange-coloured plants in the past.
No?
Now, early last summer, or mid-last summer, when you come into Ideal World, either side, we've got these great big planters.
Yes.
And last year, we planted them up with apricot shades.
Yes.
Out the front of this building, sometimes it's absolutely boiling hot, sometimes it's blowing a hoolie, sometimes it's freezing cold.
Well, last week it was like coated thick in ice.
But these begonias outside, last year, outside the front of this building, just flowered all summer long. They had very little care, very little love, but wow, every time you walked into the building, there was just this explosion of oranges, of yellows, of tangerines. They flowered month after month after month. And, you know, sometimes people say, well, really, really bright flowers, you know, I find them a little bit vulgar, a little bit, you know, kind of over the top. But the thing about these begonias was they are just so elegant, they are so subtle, they are so sophisticated, and they will just give you this incredible explosion for very, very minimum effort.
And I also am given to believe that they are exclusively available from our supplier who brings us these. These are not something that you will be able to walk into a nursery, if you have a local nursery, if you have a local garden centre, and be able to pick up. They are robust is the word that I was told. They're robust, they're hardy, but they are very, very exclusive.
They love the British climate. And just to show you, this one in my hand, this is called a begonia tuber.
Okay.
And what you'll find is, you see there's a rounded side. This is the rounded side, or this is the side that actually faces down into the earth, and then this is the top side, which is indented. These are going to become to you what's known as pre-chitted. Now, what that means is, when they arrive, they will have little tiny shoots, little tiny buds called eyes that will already be growing. That process is called chitting.
Right.
That means that these tubers have already been brought into growth. All you need to do is just plant them into the compost, round-sided down, just a little bit compost on the top, water them, and just let them grow away, and just keep them frost-free. Take them out when the last of the frost has gone, and boy oh boy, you are just going to enjoy months and months and months of the most amazing colour.
Well, we are topping this off. It's 298027 with, of course, a whole range of very special offers. May I just let you know right up front, these were some of the most popular plants that we brought you, and they were featured a number of times across 2014. Yeah. This is the first chance, I believe, that they've been available this year. Certainly the first chance that we've had Adam here in the studio to answer any questions. And if you want to do a bit of bragging and a little bit of showing off, we want to do that with you today. Let us show off your plants on our show. Send us your pictures, studio@idealworld.tv.
And there's another thing, Joan, as well, you can start doing now. You know, if you've got a greenhouse, for example, if you've got a heated greenhouse, or if you've got a nice bright windowsill, you can start these off now. Don't start them off too quickly, but you can start them off now, and that means you're going to get a head start, because if you plant them out in March, which you can do, you know, they're going to take a little while to get going. But if you already start them off now, by March, you'll practically have them almost ready to flower. So
bragging rights in March.
So you're going to be able to say, well, I've got my begonias flowering right now. You know, I haven't got to wait. So.
And then just to remind you, we've got special offers across the board. You can probably tell we're both pleased as punch to be here with you today. Now, the begonias are going crazy. I'll just quickly remind you some key things. So the begonia apricot shades, it's not widely available. I hope I've made that very clear. These are not widely available. I'd hate you to make a trip out today because you're inspired. Let us rather send these straight to you because they are exclusively available through our plant supplier. That's 298027. The lilies, you know that is at better than half price, that offer for 50 of those bulbs. So you're going crazy for those. And here we come to a collection I couldn't wait to see because I've not had any breakfast. I've been up since 5:30. This is the Very Berry collection, and we've got my favorites there. The strawberries, the raspberries, and those beautiful blueberries.
And what a great mix here as well. We've got a mix of fruit here that is going to give you fruit all the way from about June right up till about October.
Stunning.
We've got a wonderful variety of strawberry called Florence. Always reminds me when I went on holiday to Florence. So the strawberry Florence, that is going to give you succulent, delicious, sweet fruit, probably end of June, towards the end of July. We've got Blue Crop, the blueberry. That is going to give you blueberries in August.
Yes.
And then we've got an autumn fruiting raspberry called Joan J. That's going to bring you raspberries from July right up to October. So you're looking at June, July, August, September, October, 5 months worth of fruit in this collection. You've got 10 of the strawberries, which are the bare root strawberries.
Here they are.
3 of the raspberry canes. Now, the raspberry canes are what's known as a primo cane variety. What that actually means is these will actually fruit for you this year. Sometimes when you buy raspberries, you will find you're buying them and they're only about 6 inches tall. You will need, with those ones, to let them grow this year, and the growth this year won't give you fruit till next year. Because these canes are already mature, they've already got buds on here that will give you fruit this year. These will flower in about 4 months' time, and they will give you fruit this year. So you haven't got to wait until next year.
And I want to just say, get ready, my friends. Yeah. Get ready. I was telling Adam this morning, I was lucky enough a couple of years, actually it's more than a couple of years, 4 years ago, I got hold of some prima canes. I'd never grown raspberries before in my life. They told me to get ready for fruit. I seriously did not anticipate how much fruit I would get. Fruit. My neighbours, we went away on holiday. My neighbours popped over to just keep everything watered because I grew mine in tubs. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I grew mine in tubs, and we've got a great solution coming up in just a second for you. Get ready for fruit. And if you've got children, this is one of the most exciting ways to get them in touch with Grow Your Own. Please. My little girl, when she was just over 2 years old, we moved house, and we were picking strawberries. The raspberry she knows, because raspberries are great for kids because they pop off. They're super delicious, sweet.
And they're just bright red and colourful and attractive to eat, aren't they? And they're kind of great for children, so at the right height for children to pick as well. They haven't got to reach up, they haven't got to bend right down.
And these haven't got the prickly, spiky spikes, because that was the other thing that put me off the blackberries and all of that before. Is quite often they're very thorny. Not with these. Now, I just let you know, this is going crazy, and there is more. So just to quickly remind you, 10 strawberries, you've got your raspberries, but you've also got your blueberries.
You've got 2 blueberries. So we've got a blueberry here called Blue Crop. That's one of the most popular blueberries in the UK, very disease resistant. This is fantastic for a tub. Grow this in ericaceous compost in a tub. Very, very easy to grow. They are self-fertile as well, so you don't need to worry about having another variety of blueberry. If you do have another variety of blueberry nearby, that's not a problem. It'll just give you even more fruit. But just grow these in pots in ericaceous compost. Lovely, gorgeous bell-shaped flowers in the spring. These reddish-coloured stems in the winter.
Oh, lovely.
And you're going to have your own fresh, ripe blueberries. And as we know, blueberries are very high in vitamins and all those really important things.
Antioxidants.
Yeah, and if you've got your NutriBullet as well, then you've got all that fruit that you can actually put into your NutriBullet on it and just give you those fantastic sort of shakes and drinks every day as
and
well.
And don't you think, Adam, when you grow your own and it's ripened in the sun, they're always so much sweeter. Look, I'm helping him along. Come along, hop along. Let's go over
I'm
here.
repeating too much.
Let me take you to the next option. Now, that one, by the way, was on, I don't know if you saw. Can we quickly bring back the details? Yes. My producer knows what I'm going to say. It is on FlexiPay. I forgot to mention this, so my bad. Apologies there. That means that you can now open up what we call a Flexi Basket, and you could add to your order things like those incredible lilies, like the apricot shade begonias, which I know you've gone crazy for. But this Flexi Basket option, just so that you understand what it means. When we offer you FlexiPay, it means that the rest of the order can then go on to two payments. So just to say, it's 2 interest-free payments. There's no penalty for spreading the cost. It just means that you can start having the fun without the bigger outlay initially. So if you want to use FlexiPay, feel free to add other items to your order into your basket, as they call it. The easiest way to order, of course, is to visit the website, idealworld.tv, or in fact, you could go to Lead the Good Life, and you might even go and have a little sneaky peek at where you're going to be finding Adam's blog going forward. And don't forget, we love bragging here at Ideal World. So do send through your pictures so we can brag on your behalf, studio@idealworld.tv, because if you do send your pictures of any of your pots, your baskets, your plants, your beds, your borders, anything that you grew last year with any plants that you enjoyed, we would love to hear from you. Studio@idealworld.tv. Send it right to us, studio@idealworld.tv right now, because this hour we are going to draw somebody who sends a picture through a £20 Lead the Good Life voucher. And on the Lead the Good Life website, you will not only find brilliant tools and plants, you will also find a lovely brand new hire service for some unusual tools and things that you may need. Maybe you've taken over an allotment or something like that, and you're going to need some more sort of heavy duty equipment that you don't want to invest in, but that you could really use hiring. Do go and check that out on the website. I had a little look at it again this morning. It's like improving by the hour, I have to tell you. It's a very, very cool, evolving website. But now we're coming up to something that I don't quite understand. Although 5% of the stock is already spoken for, it turns out that a lot of people want this. It's a lot of fleece and it's some pegs.
It's a lot of fleece. In fact, what I'm going to do, I mean, just to show how much, I'll tell you what, Joe, should we do sheets? We'll actually, if we just open this out so we can just...
Okay, wait, all right, keep going, cameras, keep going.
So
it's going to take the whole setup. Stay
basically,
there. Hang on, I don't think I've ever had anything as long as... You better take a picture. You better take a picture, Gary, because this I don't think will ever happen again.
That is a lot of fleece. That is the width of our end of the studio. That is our entire pack shot and beyond of fleece. And what you're going to do with this fleece, this is fantastic for protecting all your plants.
It'll make a rather nice veil if you were playing Here Comes the Bride.
Almost looks like Lady Diana's wedding
up.
dress some years ago. It's got that kind of look to it, really. But I mean, joking apart, I mean, it makes Joanne look beautiful, but what it'll also do, it'll keep your plants looking beautiful as well. Because if you've got plants in the garden that are a little bit susceptible to frost, and not only frost, sometimes wind damage, when we get those really, really biting easterly winds, those really dry winds, what they can do in the wintertime with things like conifers, for example, they can desiccate the foliage. They dry the foliage out, and that means the shrub turns brown, it discolours. So if you've got plants that suffer from that, ceanothus, for example, can suffer that, you can wrap some layers of fleece round, and that actually protects those plants from the wind. But you might have some palms in the garden, you might have something else in the garden that's a little bit vulnerable to the frost. Just go round 3 or 4 times with some fleece, and that just keeps those plants a little bit protected, and also just keeps the frost at bay. And another use as well, if you want to, the pigeons in the wintertime, when you've got your brassicas on your allotment, your Brussels sprouts, your cabbages, all those kind of things, the pigeons are right so-and-so's for the leaves on those, especially when the plants are young. Again, you can just put the fleece over the top while the plants are small to protect them. And you've got the pegs as well. You've got these lovely pegs with these teeth, so you can push those through the fleece.
Can I do that here?
Yes.
Show you how easy that is?
Very easy, goes through there. So again, you can use these plastic pegs that are not going to rust or rot or corrode to actually pin the fleece down as well. So if you wanted to, you could, for example, put like a hood of fleece over a plant.
I like that.
Let it drape down onto the ground, then use the pegs just to push it down into the soil to hold it firm.
Now, these will sell out. I'm being told absolutely confidently these will sell out, because I'm afraid 20% of the stock is already spoken for. So it's 326624. Adam, I've just looked at the clock. Look, we're nearly halfway through our first show of the season.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It certainly does. But it brings us to something you will be pleased you waited for, because next up is a huge offer. I can't get over how huge this offer is. It brings you some very exciting components. It brings you one of the biggest hits of 2014 on our entire gardening lineup. And did I mention we've got an entire entire website dedicated just to gardening.
I think you might have mentioned
Yeah,
that.
Lead the Good Life. Go and check it out if you've got a few seconds, and if you are getting into or you're already passionate about gardening, because we've got some very, very exciting retail partnerships with some of the biggest names in the business. And this particular product here is called the Tower Pot. Now, it takes that gorgeous pot that we showed you before, which is on a special offer for 3 of them, with its saucer, but it's got this fantastic, almost lattice-like tower.
Yep.
But the offer does end there, because if you'd like this at $29.99, I'm saying that price right, aren't I, Graham? Okay, we've got this with the compost, which is over there at the front, a full bag of the compost.
We have, yep.
And we've got this with, of course, the fertilizer at $29.99, and that's the little incredibloom that we've got over here, which you've already had Adam speak about. Now, if you would like it with these 2 beautiful plants that produce these exquisite flowers,
They do.
2 plants for $39.99. Again, it is on FlexiPay, so 2 payments of £20. Opens up that Flexi basket. You could buy the fleece. I'm just saying it's a lot of fleece for $4.99. It'd be £2.50
That is a
in your
ridiculous
Flexi
amount
basket.
of fleece for $4.99.
Look at this, $39.99. And I just figured to have the plants, to have the, and am I right in thinking that's got fertilizer, and it's got compost, and it's got the pot, and the 2 plants for $39.99.
So you've got everything you need. You've got enough compost in there to fill the pot. You've got 2, they're called Trachylospermum jasminoides, or the common name is star jasmine. I have one of these that goes up one side of my front door, over the top and down the other side. They are stunning plants. Look, we're in the middle of January, full of leaf. This is an evergreen climber, an evergreen shrub. This will stay evergreen all the year through. And actually, sometimes in the winter, some of the leaves turn a wonderful red colour as well.
Oh,
so you get a mixture of
gorgeous.
wonderful red-coloured leaves, then the green glossy leaves. And when it snows, the actual snow falls off of these because the leaves are so shiny, the snow just drops off.
Glides off.
But boy, oh boy, oh boy, the main thing about these is the flower. Lovely little
Look at them,
star-shaped
they're
flowers.
beautiful. Beautiful
And the
flowers.
fragrance. The fragrance of these is knockout. If you've bought this and you've bought the lilies, plant them either end of the garden so that you can have wonderful fragrance from one end of the garden to the other.
Perfume floating on the
perfume
air.
floating around. And the good thing about the Trachylospermum and the tower pot means that once you've got the Trachylospermum growing and established, you can move the pot when it's flowering to where you want it to be. So on that summer evening when you've got your patio doors open, bring it up onto the patio, bring it up onto the decking, and just let that really sweet, delicious fragrance just drift into the living room.
I love it. By the way, let me just quickly remind you, if you want this, then there are a couple of different ways to get it. If you want the Trachylospermum with, of course, that star jasmine, then this is definitely the best bundle. It brings you the tower pot, plus it brings you 2 plants, and it brings you the fertilizer as well as the compost for just $39.99, which today would be £20 on the first of your 2 interest-free FlexiPays. However, if you just want the tower pot, the fertilizer and the compost, I still can't get over this. Tower pot, fertilizer and compost, again on FlexiPay, 2 payments of £15. It's 336195. So just to remind you, 336195, you can go for those. If you want to go for the lilies to go inside your tower pot, absolutely no reason why you wouldn't do that. They grow beautifully, wonderfully tall. Yep, put the lilies inside. This is available at £14.99. That's better than half price for 50. A lot of people have been questioning that. For 50 bulbs, 336182 is your item number. The begonias need a special mention once again, setting the world on fire with how tough, how robust they are.
Robust.
I know. Sorry, this lip of mine, that's bothering. And 298027 is your item number. So well done if you've got hold of those. Did I stress to you the point that there are 20 of the chitted corns for $16.99? Because perhaps I didn't mention that, and it is worth stressing.
And they are
that.
really, really big tubers as well. They're a good size. So
well, that inspires confidence, doesn't it?
Does, yeah.
And what I meant to ask you about that, sorry, we were looking at them, and spacing is something I always struggle with. And I know that those are robust. They do, and I saw them at the front of the building this year. They do have a great display. How far apart should we plant
Well, to be
them?
honest, they are so vigorous growing. If you've got, for instance, a 14-inch easy fill hanging basket, I would probably just put 3 in, to be honest.
Gosh.
So in a triangular sort of formation.
And you've got 20 in the bundle.
Yeah, so that is going to go a long way.
So if you had one of these long sort of troughs like we've got at the front, and maybe only as few as 4?
Yeah, probably, I mean, about 10 inches apart is all you need, because
Wow.
they grow and they spread so well. So,
Fantastic.
and of course, if you plant them too close, and they all get congested, and they sort of fight for space and light and feed. But if you space them out, they've got room to grow. And I tell you, they are just the easiest begonias in the world to grow.
Well, we love bringing them to you. They have been hugely popular. And in fact, if you head to the website, you'll probably be able to read a lot of reviews, a lot of very, very excited, positive reviews on those begonias, the apricot shades. And that's the Lead the Good Life website. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to step out here for a quick second because I'm dying to show you this. One of the real hits and finds for us. It's like a good example of the type of kit that you will find on the Lead the Good Life website, because Adam is lifting up the bag.
This is not my man bag, by the way. This is...
He has one of those also, what gardener doesn't. But can I just show you, from that bag grows this fantastic greenhouse. So for those of you who right now thinking, I have no room in my garden for a greenhouse, don't worry, we know. We also feel that way. But now, a pop-up greenhouse for when you need it, and then you can collapse it down when you don't.
I was talking to Sophie, who comes in for us and prepares all the show and all the plants, and she was saying this took about 10 minutes to put up. It really, really is that quick. It's about 5.5 by 5.5 foot wide, about 7 foot or so in the middle there.
Well,
so
let
it's
me climb
quite
inside.
spacious.
Let's both come in.
Yeah, I mean, we can actually... I'm not the tallest guy in the world. I'm about 5'9".
But hands above. Look, I've got the diary to go all the way to the top. If I raise my hand, I can't touch the roof. Look. I've got, what would you say? I've got 4.5 inch heels on today?
Well, I'm about 5'9", and I mean, you know, it's way above the top of my head.
I've got to use the diary to lift it to the top there. Great little roll-up windows, a big door at the front, windows on three sides. This is such a lovely...
And I love the fact that it's really, really clear plastic as well, so that's going to let lots of light through.
In.
But of course, that isn't it either, because you're going to get these module trays as well. You're going to get two lots of 5 trays, different sizes, and you're going to get 10 packs of seeds. Now, we can't say what seeds, but you're going to get 5 mixed packs of vegetable seeds, 5 mixed packs of flower seeds, and you've got these little modules here that you can actually just fill up with compost and start your seeds off growing in those module trays as well. So not only a greenhouse, but actually something for you to start with in the greenhouse. And another thing you can do, I've got a similar greenhouse to this in my garden.
Yes.
And I've got plants in there that are quite tender. And what I did, I went along and I bought a greenhouse heater.
Okay.
Which electric one, which you could put inside this if you want. So you can get some that only just click on when it's just about to turn frosty, just to keep the frost at bay. So again, you know, if you've got palms or things you want to get through the winter, or your geraniums or your fuchsias or your begonias, you could put those in here, put a little greenhouse heater in, take them through the winter.
What a great suggestion for you. For those of you wanting to start gardening, for those of you keen to turn it around this year, and there is so much exciting TV happening at the moment to do with gardening. My mum is a really keen gardener.
It's so good, isn't it? There's so many gardening programmes coming back all of a sudden.
And she keeps texting me all these great programmes to watch. The Great British Garden Revival is back. The Show Me Your Garden.
Yeah, Show Me Your Garden.
That
Gardener's World will be back soon as well.
Absolutely. And you want to get into it, and you'd like to just get outside and enjoy the outdoors, and they say gardeners live longer, and I think there is a reason why they do. They genuinely
They're happy.
do.
That's right, because gardeners are happy.
Happy and also
and healthy.
I was going to say fit and healthy. We want to get you out there gardening successfully, and this is the type of kit that I'm delighted we're able to bring to your home, to your garden. And for those of you keen to maybe, you know, help the little ones along, because I'm sorry, but I'm so worried that we're kind of losing all the fun and favourite, you know, memories that I have growing up with grandparents who were very, very keen gardeners.
Yeah, that's where I got it from. My grandmother, my mum got it from my grandmother. I got the gardening habit from my mum. It spreads through the generations.
We need to make sure that it does.
Yeah.
This is the kind of kit that we got that is going to help you, even if you've got a really teeny tiny garden. And for those of you that have finally got off the waiting list for your allotments, hello, that's what I'm saying, you know, for weekend gardening, and maybe just to keep you dry when you're working down on the allotment. So the item number, if you'd like to get hold of this, is 303721, and it is on FlexiPay. 2 payments are just £25. And then to something that both Adam and I couldn't resist this morning. There are 3 of these gorgeous little crates with a little like chalkboard finish at the front over here, which are going to be super for storage, super for display, great for just sort of taking things backwards and forwards.
They're just such fun, aren't they?
I'd have these in my house, and you know, I have got crates very similar like this just in my house to store stuff in our playroom.
And just for a barbecue as well, for instance, I mean, you could line this with some plastic and put some ice in there, and you could put bottles of wine in there or cans of beer or anything like that. I mean, you could harvest your
Toolbox.
vegetables and your fruit in these. Just so many uses. You could store your tools in your garden shed, the kids' toys in the garden. And if you just want to, if you've got a fantastic plant in a pot, for example, that you want to show off, you could always just stand one on its end like this and then just stand the pot on there to highlight it. So you've got all those options with these. The world's your oyster, basically.
Dozens of different uses. We do hope you're going to go crazy for them because we really, really love bringing them to you. They're $29.99. I've never seen them before. Brand new to me today. And this is 336852 on FlexiPay again. 2 payments of £15. Let me also just remind you the pots, and if I could just quickly show them to you again, they're not 3 different sizes. It's just the way that picture has been taken. Have a little look here. Can I quickly show them to you live, just very quickly, because I hate that picture. Gary, I don't know, my lovely director Gary, sorry Gary, I'm always doing this to him. Could you just quickly take this as a shot for us? It gives you a sense of scale, also that all the pots are the same. Adam is going to hop to the side, I'll hop to the side. I just want everybody at home to see how fabulous the size of those is. $24.99, and the fact that you're going to be getting the sauces as well. 336181. The lilies you may well want to plant. Please don't put more. I wouldn't have thought that you want to put more than 5 lily bulbs in that pot. Absolutely. I'm going to have to say stop at the 5 for the lily bulbs there.
Precisely.
Because they will complete. I put 5 in mine last year. And truthfully, it did not want any more.
No, and you've got they're nice and deep, those pots, as well, as you've got that depth for planting, because lilies, when you plant lilies like their roots in the shade, so great for planting in herbaceous borders and shrub borders, so the roots are in the shade, and then the actual top of the flower can come up into the sun, which is ideal. But, I mean, what I can't get over is, this is such an amazing variety. You've got that crimsony pink flower there, the most incredible, intoxicating fragrance, those elegant blossoms. But come on, 50 bulbs for $14.99.
Well, for that very reason, Adam, that is why we are zipping through the first of the stock that we have available for 2015. 336182. That's 336182. And of course, if that goes into a flexi basket, it's going to be £7.50 a 2-pay flexi basket today. Let me take you back to the roses, though. Hello, and a very good morning, and welcome to the first of our Lead the Good Life gardening shows for 2015. I'm delighted that Adam is here, back with us, Chelsea award-winning gardener, and that is one of his many kind of accolades, because he is also a very happy gardener. You run your own gardening business,
I do,
garden and maintenance.
Garden design and garden maintenance. And the thing is, this time of year, I'm desperate to get back in the garden. That's the thing. If you're a gardener, I mean, if you're a sportsman, quite often you can do sport all year round. I mean, some sports like fishing, you can't, because there's a closed season. But you know what it's like when you're passionate about something, you want to get out there, you want to be doing it. That's what I like about what we've brought you today, because we're not buying you things that, bringing you things that we're going to say, well, you can't plant for 6 weeks or 2 months. The roses, for example, these are bare root roses. These can go in the ground now. This is the ideal time to plant them. So if you're sitting indoors now and you're thinking, oh, I would just love to get out in the garden.
Yes.
I'd love to have an excuse to do something in the garden. Get your bare root roses in now. Choose a lovely bright day, because we had some lovely bright days.
We did.
And I was working in the garden the other day. Admittedly, it was cold, but I was wrapped up really well. But even now, with the sun on me, and it's getting higher in the sky now, it felt really pleasant.
And
felt
let me
lovely.
just ask you about this, because I did look at this. I thought about doing a bit of gardening myself last. I thought about it. And I was worried about the ground, though, because the ground felt very hard to me, Adam.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the ground is frozen or waterlogged, then you can't plant.
Okay.
But I think you can do. I mean, if the conditions aren't quite right for planting your roses, all you can do if you want to is, when you get these home, remember these are bare root. That means they've been lifted from the field. If you did this in the middle of the summer, in June, the plant would die. It would go into shock and die. This time of year, it's completely dormant, so it doesn't mind one bit so whatever it's been lifted out the ground. All you need to do when you get them home, if the weather isn't right, you can just put those in a bucket with some moist compost around the roots and just leave them until you're ready to plant them. Or you can do what's called heeling in, which means you just dig a little trench in the garden, put them in at a 45-degree angle, just cover the root over, and again, just leave them there until you're ready to plant them. They will not worry one bit because they're dormant.
Isn't it fascinating listening to Adam? I hope you're picking up all the tips and advice. Those are your rose bushes, and just to quickly be clear, it's 3 gorgeous rose bushes. You were telling me are the first, so they're the best.
Yep, you've got 4 or 5 stems on these. It's what we call a grower selection, so you're going to get 3 wonderful different colours. You're going to get incredible scent from these as well, and you're going to get month and month of flower colour. And these will flower for you this year, and next year they'll give you even more flower.
How exciting. And of course the DVD comes with it as well, in at that sensational price, less than £5 for a rose bush from a real quality collection. hop over here though, because we must stress to you the begonias are going crazy. If you've not seen them yet, this is a big story. This is a story about robust, tough, but exclusive begonias. These are called apricot shades. If you've never seen them before, they're called apricot shades. They are not widely available. 298027 is the item number, and it's $16.99 for 20 of what are called chitted, careful how you say that, chitted corms. Here they are.
Yeah.
And just explain to us why these have been so popular today.
These have been so popular because these will grow in any conditions. We had these in planters either side of the entrance to the reception at Ideal World last year. Sometimes at the front of this building it can be blowing a hoolie, sometimes it can be baking hot, sometimes it can be freezing cold and wet and windy. Well, I say freezing cold, it can be cold in the summer. These will go through all those conditions. So when we have a hot, dry summer, we have a wet, windy summer, these won't worry. They will just do what they do, and they will just give you months and months and months of flower in wonderful shades of yellow, of apricot, of orange, of peach, all those wonderful mixed colours.
Can't you just imagine that in your garden? Because I know it's all a little dull and a little grey at the moment, but as gardeners, we know you have imagination. You can almost feel the pollen smell the pollen in your nose. You can feel the sun on your back. You can feel the gorgeous invigoration of being out in the fresh air. And again, I come back to that point.
And I said today as well,
happy,
Jane,
healthy gardeners.
Yeah, I said to my partner before I come in today, I said, if there's one thing I'd like to achieve on the show today, by the end of the show, is I'd like everybody at home to feel like we've given you a big gardening hug, you know, and kind of bringing you in towards the spring and just reinvigorating your passion and your excitement.
It's working for me, Adam. It's working for me. And I hope you're agreeing at home. 298027. We've missed him. He's back. And what a fantastic selection to bring you in this very first of our gardening shows at the Lead the Good Life for 2015. The tower pot with the fertilizer and the treff compost. If you want to get hold of this, 336195. I'd encourage you to be quick because that is absolutely whizzing.
It doesn't surprise me because you've got everything there. That's going to turn up on your front doorstep, and you've got everything you need. You haven't got to worry about going out and getting compost. You haven't got to worry about going out and getting fertilizer. And of course, if you order the next one up with the tracheospermums as well, then obviously you've got 2 plants to go in there, and you can just start the whole thing off. And remember, everything we're showing you today, you can start to do something with it now. You can get the roses in now. You can get the fruit collection in the garden now. You can plant up those tracheospermums now. They are very, very hardy.
Excellent.
You can start off those begonias now under glass or somewhere warm.
So, or maybe you're treating yourself to that wonderful pop-up greenhouse. Let me give you the key details quickly again. 336183 if you would like to get hold of the tracheospermum with the fertilizer, the compost and the pot with the tower. That's all in for $39.99, or if you prefer, 2 payments of just £20. 336183. You can go for it on its own, remember, with the pot, the tower, the compost and the fertilizer. That's going to be in for you at just £29.99, 336195, or 2 payments of £15. The fleece on your screen right now, that is a super, super long fleece. I apologise that we didn't have the dimensions, but I would say to you that's easily going to run over 10, maybe 12 metres, I would say. 10, 12 metres by 2-3 metres
easily
wide with the stakes, but it will sell out. It's limited stock, so 36624, last chance to buy. We're
certainly not fleecing you with the fleece, are we?
Well, hey. Yes, very nice. So wake up and rearing to go. Let me quickly remind you as well, the Lead the Good Life diary. I'm going to make sure that we've all got one of ours.
Oh, there's a really kind of there's a hold on.
Adorable picture of you.
Yikes!
Yikes! There he is. Oh, Adam, I've got to have one of these just so that I can... You'll have to autograph mine.
Sleep well, don't have nightmares, please.
Storm Model Agency are going to be on the phone, I can tell you. Other model agencies obviously are available. I love this pruning guide in here for you. Top recycling tips, some really cute ideas in there. Jobs to do in January, and you'll find that for each of the months of the year. A little diary for you to keep a track of what's going on in your gardening. Please, please, please don't forget to treat yourself to this at $4.99 and free postage and packaging with any order that you place today. I'm glad to hear lots of you are sending through your pictures. We'd love to share those with our viewers before we say goodbye. So studio@idealworld.tv if you've got any results that you'd like to share. And remember, Adam is here not just for fun and information. He's also here to share any advice that you may require. So let me give you some details and some, I think we've got some pictures, have we? So let's show you some pictures that we've had from our viewers already. Look how gorgeous that looks. And this is 336182 on your screen for lilies, but it doesn't have any relevance to that picture. Now, this picture came into us from from George. Well, George, thank you for that brilliant picture.
And isn't it great to see pictures like that this time of the year? Because it just gives you that encouragement, it gives you that enthusiasm, it gives you that lift that you need, the inspiration
that we need.
Yeah.
It is dark and it is a bit cold out there.
But this is what's coming. You know, we're not heading away from this now. We're heading towards it.
Yes, all to look forward to. Now,
just
look, we've got the lily details on the screen. Now, I know these are not the same lilies, but this gives you an idea of where we're going with lilies. Look at the next picture from one of our clients. This is from Paul. Paul or Paula? Oh, Paula, beg your pardon. Paula, thank you so much for your pictures. And in fact, the next picture is also a story of lilies, a very happy story of lilies. Who's this one from? This is from Jonathan. Gosh, we're getting loads of pictures through. Thank you.
And they do so well in pots lilies as well. So, you know, if you've got a balcony or veranda or patio or only a hard surface in the garden, grow lilies in pots. They do fantastically well in pots. And then, of course, you can move them to where you want them to be.
And to enjoy that beautiful perfume.
That's the knockout thing, the perfume.
May I remind you, Jonathan had a great year last year, because this is another one of his pictures. This is one of his hanging baskets. Keep sending your pictures through. Jonathan was very busy. I have one more picture from Jonathan I also want to share with you. It's just over there. It then takes you down the side of the house. You can't send too many in. We love seeing your pictures. 336182, though, you might be wondering what those are the details for. Well, let us quickly remind you just over here what we're talking about.
Wow.
I know. He did a great year last year, Jonathan, didn't he? It's so lovely to have our gardeners with us here. We have a very loyal following, and we thank you all for your company. Between myself and Adam, and I have to say, you'll see us popping up all over the place. We were lucky enough last year. Some of us didn't make it down to Chelsea. We will do this year, that is the plan, as a show of support. But we did get to go to events like the BBC Gardeners World Live show.
Wasn't that a great weekend?
We had such fun. And if you would like to meet Adam, we're going to keep you posted with where he's going to be out and about. Also, Sean has become particularly green-fingered, and his garden is an absolute Garden of Eden, and he'll be joining you with myself. I feel very lucky, week after week, to bring you this regular gardening slot from now for the rest of the year. We've got very special products featured each hour. The lilies have captured your imagination. I don't think anybody can resist your suggestion of plant some in the garden, but also plant some for cutting.
Exactly, yeah. So if you think 50 is too many, you know, to actually put in your garden, or you haven't got enough pots, well, find a little spare piece of ground, plant the rest in the ground, just plant them in a dead straight line. Let them grow up and use them as cut flowers. So yeah, you've got lilies indoors and lilies in the garden.
And when I first got hold of lilies, I got hold of it for one purpose alone. Is I was very confident because I saw how they grew in my last house in the pots. I had a very ugly fence and it went on and on and on and on. I used the lilies because they're really tall, and I must tell you that if you plant these in, by the second or third year they do come, some of them to about here and some of them to about here. So if you've got an ugly fence, you can plant them at the back. You can have your other smaller flowers in the front, but you can have them at the back.
That's a really good point, Joan, as well, because in the first year they will give you a result, but you know they take about a year or a couple of years to really get to their maximum potential. And another quick tip you can do as well, because you've got 50 here, you could, if you wanted to, plant say 15 now, then leave some more for about another couple of weeks. Plant some more in about 2 or 3 weeks' time.
Keep the flowers coming.
And they'll come up at different stages, so you can stagger the flowering period. So rather than a huge glut of lilies flowering all at once, you can space them out over a long period.
That is a great idea. Okay. I want to do this. This is a great suggestion. So what should we do, Adam? If you're thinking the same as me, I want to follow this advice. What should we do with our bulbs, the 50 bulbs that are coming home? What should we do with the ones we're not putting in the ground?
The ones you're not putting in the ground, just keep them somewhere cool and dark and dry. And they'll be fine. So, under the sink where you keep that vegetable rack with your vegetables and your potatoes and your onions in, they would do fine somewhere like that. So just somewhere cool and dark and dry. And they will be quite happy for at least another sort of month, if not a little bit longer.
Those crates?
Yeah.
Keep them in the crates. The crates, remember, 3 of those available with a little sort of chalkboard panel at the front. They're in at £29.99, 3 different sizes. They're also on FlexiPay. I don't know if you noticed that. 336852, 2 payments of £15. Just to quickly remind you, if you wanted to get hold of those patio pots, Gary took this lovely picture just to show you exactly what's heading home to. Those 3 pots and their saucers. 336181 at £24.99. Perfect for your lilies, perfect for your begonias. In fact, let me just tell you right now, if you wanted to grow your raspberries, you wanted to grow your blueberries and your strawberries as well, you could use those pots for them. 336181. Now the base, what you see there forms the base of the tower pot. So you've got your tower pot here, which comes, by the way, it does come with a saucer, I must stress that to you. plus the tower, plus 2 of the tracheospermums, plus of course the full compost and fertilizer. My goodness, it's a big bundle. For $39.99, 2 payments of £20. It's 336183 and you're going crazy for that. You're just imagining that perfume of the jasmine floating over to you as you sit with the doors open across the
Wafting
summer months.
Little waves of fragrance coming in every so often.
And it's always so lovely just at dusk, isn't it?
Definitely.
And then it'll take you, if you just wanted to get hold of this for your own purposes, maybe you've got a favourite clematis that you're going to take cuttings from or something like that. Here is the tower pot. It does come once again, I stressed to you, with the saucer, the Incredibloom fertilizer, the compost, and at $29.99 it's £15.
And just very quickly now, if you're just buying the tower pot with the fertiliser and the compost, you can start your sweet peas off in that now as well. So don't think you can't use that now. Get your sweet peas going in there.
And speaking of getting going now, well, who doesn't need a pop-up greenhouse for your allotments, for your gardens? Get growing. That's what we want you to do this year. Now, with a combination of flower and fruit and veg, the seeds that come to you here is going to be a combination from one of the market's leading and longest established flower companies. 303721 for $49.99, 2 payments for £25 gets that home to you. We absolutely love gardening here at Ideal World. You've probably gathered that. We've got one of our favourite gardeners in the world here with us today.
Oh, bless you.
He's been away on a leave of absence due to injury, and Adam is back. And today, remember, when you're ordering anything that you like the look of, the begonias, the lilies, those beautiful rose bushes. My goodness, the rose bushes have been popular as well. Don't forget to add your own little slice of heaven with that gorgeous picture of Adam, just to remind you how he is at the front of there. Bring this along to some of the shows so we can get excited. That'll keep the pests out your garden, won't it? £4.99, 335 982. I don't feel like we gave nearly enough time to the fruit trees, and we've got to say goodbye to the begonias as well. These are going crazy.
It doesn't surprise me because they are just such stunning plants and so easy to grow. That is the thing.
Yeah. Well, begonias, what makes the apricot shade so kind of floriferous and different?
I think it's just that mixture of colours. I think it's the fact that you're getting yellow, you're getting peach, you're getting pink, you're getting red, you're getting such a mass of different colours in the mix. And the light levels we have in this country, it just kind of stands out so well in our gardens. And whether it's a hot summer or a dry summer, they will just always do their best.
Well, we love bringing them to you. They've been hugely popular, and today has been no exception. Can you believe we've cut into the first stock that's been available this year? 20% of it is already gone. So 298027 if you'd like to order yours right now. May I ask you to pick a winner? Yeah, dig in deep, and I want to share some of these other pictures as well. That's our brilliant Paula. Thank you for your email. Thank you so much, and you will receive Daria, I believe, is going to be in touch with you in the week with the details of your £20 Lead the Good Life voucher. Love bringing you the plants. Thank you for. Can we just show some of Jonathan and all the other pictures? We'll just give you some pictures. Paula, Jonathan, and I think it was Richard that sent us pictures in. This is what we want to see more of.
And this is what makes it worthwhile. Totally. This is why we do it. This is the whole point.
This is where we're going.
Yeah.
Because we're on the road there now. We're not going away.
No.
We're going towards this. Oh my, I have to say that would have been my favourite, that first one there. Thanks for your photos, and join us again every single Sunday. We'll have 1 to 2 hours of gardening in the morning, and then as the season sort of kind of grows on us, we'll offer you even more. So great to have your company. And oh, by the way, even if you need tools that you need to hire, remember to go to Lead the Good Life. 298027, the item number if you want to get hold of those begonias. Adam, what a big...
Cheers, Joan.
It's such a pleasure to have you
enjoyed it. Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. Here's a quick reminder of our very special today's Pick of the Day. See you soon. Bye.